Hello, this is going to be a tarot and oracle card reading for all signs. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to use this little fortune cookie deck here to start off the reading to find out what this might be about, or at the very least, what little message they want to pop out first. Keep in mind, this is a general collective reading, not a personal. Oh, we got two going on here. Okay. This is a general collective reading, not a personal reading. So you need to use your intuition to know if this is for you. And, you know, with cards like this, it's very important that you make, no matter what tarot card reading you're watching, especially if it's general collective, you know, you need to still make good decisions. Whoever the tarot card reader is that's reading these cards, we're not responsible for what happens, because ultimately, like I said, I believe in the law of attraction. So if you start to manifest something, but you don't follow through, or you don't do it quite right, or you don't lift your vibrations, it might not come true. This reading is not 100%, right? So, with cards like this, just make sure that you're using your discernment, you're making good decisions, because we're just throwing this information out there. We're just telling you what Spirit's saying, and we're trusting that Spirit will get this video to who it needs to go to the proper person, right? Sorry, my voice, I guess. I've been doing a lot of videos and going live, so I don't know if that's the problem or if it's just like a morning thing. I'll try my hardest to not sound crusty. But anyway, okay, so we do have planning coming out here. It says, now is the time to lay down the foundations for your future. Financial gains are more than likely. So this is what I'm talking about. Like if we got a card that would say, make financial investments. Like be very careful with that. You know, that is up to you. This is just general advice. It's a general collective reading. So first of all, you need to use your intuition to know if it's for you, because it's not a personal. And even if it were a personal, you know, like I said, we're just reading the current energy of the situation. The readings can change if you change your thoughts. We're just telling you where your thoughts and your actions are taking the energy right now, where they're set to go. So you still need to make smart decisions and be responsible for your own decisions. Okay, so that's why most tarot card readers have that little blurb, you know, about it being advice. So this is not financial advice, even though this does say, this is just letting you know that the energy seems to be going in a direction that would suggest that now is the time for you to lay down foundations for your future. Some kind of building something stable. And it says financial gains are more than likely. So that's up to you to decide, you know, in your gut, if that is for you, and if so, what that means. We also have manifestations coming out here. The card that says, a bountiful time awaits you. Your wishes could manifest right before your eyes. So this is very exciting energy that we have right here. Like I said, it's not 100%, but it is what you're creating, where this is headed. So if you feel in your gut, oh my God, I know she's talking to me because I already felt this way. I already felt, maybe you get a lot of signs and synchronicities telling you that. That's how you can trust your gut, right? But keep in mind, when you are manifesting, sometimes you manifest a storm first. You manifest the darkness before the dawn. So when you're manifesting, sometimes it'll feel like everything's falling down around you, not going right, the tower moment before you get the manifestation in your 3D. So if you feel like, oh my God, everything just went wrong, what happened? It's actually what happens right before your manifestation comes in. So just keeping that in mind as well. So like I said, this is a general collective reading, so use your intuition to know if it's for you and what this is saying. That's on you, okay? But I'm just telling you what Spirit's popping out here. They're telling you that now is the time to lay down foundations for your future, whatever that means. Maybe you're working hard at a side gig or something like that, and they're telling you financial gains with whatever you're working on will be likely. And also, we have a bountiful time awaits you. Your wishes could manifest right before your eyes. So that's some really powerful energy with both of those cards coming out. So that is what's possible. And that's what these tarot card readings are telling you, what's possible as an encouragement, as a guidance. But at the same time, you need to use wise decisions. So I shouldn't have to say that, but you'd be surprised. I think I still do. Because some people may misunderstand what tarot card readings are all about. Maybe they think it's 100% set in stone. No, you're creating your reality with your thoughts, with your actions. You have free will. If this is saying that this is how it's headed because you've been working hard and tomorrow you decide to be lazy and stop doing it, or you decide to, you start worrying about it and you get in a low vibration, you could change the energy. So keep that in mind, right? Okay. So I've told you it's a general collective reading, that you need to use your intuition. Oh, also it's timeless. This reading is meant to be timeless. That means that it doesn't matter if I created, by the time you're watching this, if I created this 10 years ago, when it shows up on your page, that's when you were meant to see it. In fact, if it's an older video and it shows up on your page, that's probably even more of a sign, because why did it get dug out and sent to you, But again, you need to use your intuition to know for sure. But those are some really great cards to pop out. Let's use some Moonology cards here to see what else they have to say. This might not be great detail here, but this is, these cards are good for motivation to tell you, to confirm if this energy is headed to something great here. Sometimes there's good information like don't let your pride get in the way or something like that. But sometimes it's just some good motivation cards. But let's see. Yeah. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So definitely, I feel like maybe you've been working really hard towards something with this planning card and how it's talking about now is the time to lay down the foundations for your future. So either you have been doing that already or they want you to, but maybe you've been going through a really tough time here. But that's going to end soon. I don't know how, what soon is. We will get into timing a little more in the extended, as I always do. In the extendeds, I like to say what's going to happen in the next 6 months to a year or sooner with regard to this situation. So I can kind of gauge, is it set to happen in the next 6 months or to a year sooner? At this point, we don't know timing. We have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So you need to take a step back and look at this situation. So, if this is regarding, maybe a side gig you're doing or a work career, take a step back and look at the bigger picture. It's going to help you to put things in perspective here. What else, spirits, from the Moonology deck? Maybe one more. Emotions are running high, supermoon. Yeah, and we're also, as I make this video, keep in mind, it depends on when you watch this video, but as I make this video, we're about to go into Mercury retrograde. And so, yeah, things might get a little screwy. Emotions might be running high right now for you. So maybe you're feeling burdened by this. Maybe you're feeling like you second guess whether something's going to come of this situation, or maybe you're having a really tough time lately, but they are telling you that now's a good time to set that firm foundation. And then also financial gains are likely. So it's going to get better, most likely. And then with that manifestation card, they're saying, that it's a bountiful time awaits you. Your wishes could manifest right before your eyes. So the energy right now is very good for you to bring in some kind of, I think, financial abundance here is what we're talking about. But again, there is a need for you to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. So keep that in mind. Maybe that will help you, like I said, to put things in perspective. It's like right now you're feeling, maybe you've been working on something and it doesn't seem to be going the right way. So maybe keep working on it because you're laying foundation for your future. Sometimes that takes time to make it firm foundation and not some fly-by-night success. So what else, spirits? What else do we need to know regarding this situation, spirits? Anything from this deck? Okay. So the drama card, it wanted to pop out. It really did. And I almost said something, but I was like, no. What does drama have to do with, we have success on the bottom here. Success on the bottom, so I'm going to take that. Goals, work, yep. Now, launch something now. Yeah, I feel like I need to take all those. Okay. So I'm like, what does drama have to do with this financial gains? But I put it back in and it did pop out. So it definitely wanted to pop out there. So there's definitely, you know, maybe that has to do with these emotions running high. So obviously there's been some drama with regard to your life or this situation, and emotions are running high. Let's look at the rest of this message here to find out what else. So I don't know if the drama is surrounding whatever it is you're doing that's going to bring in these financial gains. I don't even know at this point if you know, like if you're already working on whatever this is that's going to bring this financial gains. I don't even know if you know what it is. I feel like you're probably already in process because we have the end of a tough cycle approaches. What makes me feel like you might not already be working on it is because it says now is the time to lay down the foundations for your future. So that would suggest to me, if we went by that wording, like maybe you haven't started on it yet. So maybe for some you have, maybe for others you haven't. But the fact that we have like emotions are running high, drama, and the end of a tough cycle approaches, take a step back, look at the bigger picture. I feel like for a lot of people, maybe you have already started whatever this is that's going to bring in this profit. We also have now here. So, you know, now is the time to set that foundation, to build that foundation, to work on this project. So maybe this is a project that you've had in your mind, that you've set goals to accomplish. You've decided, you know, you've been thinking about and you've been wanting to launch. So maybe there is a project you have in mind or an idea that you have in mind that you want to launch. Now is the time to start working on it, to work on it. Now is the time. If you have not, if this doesn't resonate with you and you have not started to plan or meditate to and brainstorm to get ideas on something that's going to bring something in, then go ahead and do that now. Now would be the time to start the planning phase, because that is the planning card. So now might be the time for you to start the planning phase, to do the brainstorming, to set your goals. So if you already have set your goals, if you already started the planning phase or came up with the idea, then now is the time to start working on it. Now is the time to start working on it. But for others, if you have not come up with an idea or a plan or set goals, now is the time to work on that. But for a lot of people, I feel like you're already working on it. Let me know down in the comment section, if this resonates with you. 2, have you already started to work on something that you're trying to manifest? Because the reason why I feel like, you know, for a lot of people, you're already working on it is because we have progress. This card tells me you might feel, or some people out there might feel like they've been going around in circles, spiraling, not making any progress, but you actually have, because this is a spiral staircase. So you could either be going up, you know, you could be going up, you could be going down, whatever. You're making progress, whatever you want to consider progress. Maybe you're up and you want to go down. I don't know. In this case, I guess it would sound better to say you are going up these stairs. Even though it may feel like you're just going round and round, you are making progress. Slow and steady wins the race kind of progress. So yeah, this is launching a new venture. So that makes me think, when I see launching a new venture, I think like like a project or a side hobby, you know, side hustle or something like that. Maybe you start it as a side hustle, but then eventually it gets so big that you can then make it your full-time thing, you know? So I feel like this is what you have going on, and there's some kind of drama involved with it for some, maybe not everybody, emotions running high. So keep that in mind, that this is just a drama period for some reason. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Maybe it was a cycle of lessons or clearing karmic debt. Whenever I think of a hard cycle and then you're about to get rewarded, manifestations coming true, that's what keeps coming out lately, where I feel like they're saying a lot of people are going through this tough cycle of learning lessons and clearing karmic debt and things like that. And they're about to go into a cycle where they get rewarded for all the hard work they've done, for everything they've gone through, for learning those lessons. And in this case, the lesson might be, it always comes down, lately what I've been noticing about my readings is it comes down to having to do shadow work to get past a block, a fear created by a wound. So people in your early life may have created a wound, may have made you feel not good enough. If we were talking love, a love block. In this case, I think maybe like a money block or success block. And so this is not coming out. Doing the shadow work isn't coming out, but I'm feeling the need to talk about it. So maybe I'm supposed to talk about it. But I won't be surprised if doing shadow work doesn't come out somewhere in this reading, because it seems like that lesson is a lesson to learn something. And usually that's to learn that you're good enough and clear that block, that fear, because that's usually what's stopping you. And so you need that encouragement to do that shadow work, and then also to get out of your comfort zone and put yourself out there. And that's this next card, share. So there's something you need to share here. Share your ideas. If you are thinking of writing a book, because there's a writing utensil quill here with the ink and some, parchment paper. It looks like a map. So maybe you're sharing something written, poetry, song, a book, something like that, something written, or just share your ideas, share your thoughts, share your, whatever this is, your product. So the time is now to share, or, it depends where you're at. The time is now to start if you haven't started yet. The time is now to set your goals if you have not done that yet. The time is now to maybe even take a step back and look at the bigger picture so you can see how far you've come. The time is now to lay those foundations, because financial gains are likely. Your manifestation, a bountiful time awaits, right? Your manifestations might just manifest right before your very eyes. But right now you've been going through a tough cycle filled with drama and emotions running high. Let me know down in the comment section if that's true. Does that resonate with you? But you are headed towards success. It will happen in divine timing, but the time is now to start on it if you haven't started on it. If you haven't even, brainstormed, the time is now to do that. The time is now to come up with the idea. The time is now to set the goals. If you've done all that and you haven't, and you're already working on something, and you haven't started building the foundation and actually working on, actually doing it, actually launching it, then the time is now to do that. Wherever you're at, you need to take the next step. This is such a synchronistic reading. We have venture, launch. The time is now to launch that venture, to work on that project, to set those goals or work on your goals, to share whatever it is you're working on. Wherever you are in this process, the time is now to keep going, to start it or keep going. Wherever you're at, you are making progress. So for the people who have already been doing this, feeling like it's been drama, emotions are running high, feeling like they're not getting anywhere, you are making progress underneath the surface. You can't see it. You will have success, or at least that's where you're headed. Now, if you stop tomorrow and say, I give up, then obviously you're not going to have the success, but you're close. The end of a tough cycle approaches. You're almost there. So like I said, that's why these readings are not 100%. I could sit here and say you're going to have success. But if you choose tomorrow, you know what? Screw this, I'm done. Or you start worrying about it and you change the energy, then you're going to change the reading. But if you keep doing this, keep doing what you're supposed to do. Maybe there's shadow work you have to do. Maybe it's the actual inspired action, the actual moving forward, the actual work. Yeah, it might take some actual work. Don't think I'm lecturing, because look, I'm a Taurus. I'm lazy. It took me a while to force myself to do this. And it took a lot of prodding from spirit. sometimes, because I am a little bit on the lazy side. Like, Taurus people can be good about making money, can be good at ideas, can be good at things, but then they're also lazy. So it's like they're known for like making money and being that person, but at the same time they can be lazy. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But this was my sole purpose, and so I think it hit different. You know, it's like, no, I need this to work. I'm going to do the hard work that it takes. I'm going to consistently show up for as long as it takes, even if I have to go back to the office and get a full-time job and do this back on the side again. You know, so I would suggest, if this is something you started, I would never logically tell somebody to quit a full-time job. I want to make that clear. To work on something that hasn't even started or that isn't where you need it to be to pay your bills. I would say logically start on the project on the side and get it to a point where you could then quit, you know, a regular job if that's what you're going to want to do. I often, whenever I'm talking about this, I talk about Aaron Doughty. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of other people that have done this, but he comes to mind. He's probably the first person that I started listening to when I started learning about manifestations. And he was a shoe salesman who had, I don't know, ADD or ADHD, whatever. He just talks about his struggles that he had and didn't really, you know, he wasn't vibing high. He didn't really think much of himself or whatever, but I guess he had a spiritual awakening or something. I don't know, whatever started him on building his YouTube channel. It took him 2 or 3 years. I think it was like 3 years before he could quit his shoe salesman job. And now it seems like he, I mean, based on his house and his background, it looks like he's doing pretty good and living a life that I think a lot of us would dream. But he had to start somewhere. You think when he started his YouTube channel, like it just blew up? Maybe it did, I don't know. It took him 2 or 3 years to build it. I've been at this, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, and it's not where I need it to be. But I also, there was a lot of time that I took like 6 months off here, 8 or 9 months off there. So really, I've probably only been at this maybe 2 years or one. And then when I first started, it was all part-time because I was working a full-time job. So, you know, it takes years to build a business, unless maybe you get lucky and you do go viral or something like that. Maybe you're that hot, because hot people, I'm telling you, on TikTok, if you're good looking, it does help. I'm not gonna lie. If you're younger, because the TikTok crowd happens to be younger, at least in the beginning. Yeah, so I was a little bitter about that there for a minute, because it's just like, you know, I've noticed that people that are older, but not necessarily. I've also noticed people who aren't as, you know, younger as the young people, or, you know, maybe they just have something really special. So yeah, like, but when I watch their videos, I'm like, yeah, I see why they're viral. I see why they have 1 million followers. Their videos are damn good, you know, or they have really, really super talent. Sometimes it just takes you a while to get better at your craft. Sometimes, you know, learning what works, learning what doesn't. I mean, for some people it goes fast, and for other people it takes planning. But for you, I don't know why I'm going on a rant about that, but maybe there's somebody that needs to hear it. Maybe you've been plugging at this for a while, but in feeling like, so that I definitely get that feeling like you've just been going around and around in circles, not getting anywhere. But you're the end of a tough cycle approaches, so you're almost there, right? You've dealt with drama somehow in this. I don't know what this drama is. Emotions running high. Maybe you have a business partner. Maybe there's been drama with your clients, or maybe you've been running into roadblocks, because I know that that's happened to me. That happens when you're manifesting. Spirit will test you. Are you sure you want this? Do you know how many roadblocks? My lives keep freezing. I just had to order fiber internet. Sometimes somebody will say they pay, and I'm like, I didn't get it. Sometimes they go away, and I'm like, well, there goes money, you know, like blocks keep blocking me. And I'm just like, you know, you just got to roll with the punches, I guess, you know, and it's always technical blocks. Nothing I think I'm doing wrong per se. Or I put out a video on TikTok at just the right time, but they don't send it out. Now they have to review it. By the time they release it, it's a shitty time and it gets crappy views. It's things like that. And it's all technical, these blocks. So, you know, I know it sounds like that's what I care about. When you're doing this as a creator and building a business, you do tend to care about that because you want your success. Of course you do. So maybe you've been dealing with that too. I don't want to mean to sound like that's all I care about, but when you're building a business and when you're like wanting it to be a certain stability so that you know you don't have to go back to the stupid office, you know, it is going to get you down if you feel like you're going around and around in circles. And I get it. I get it, because there's times where I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this full time. And I want to so badly. I want to do it full time so I can have flexibility and do what I love and what I'm passionate about. And I could go back to the office and work for somebody else, I guess, but this would give me more flexibility, which I need because I have the chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, so I kind of need it. But so maybe you're in the same boat or a similar boat. Maybe this resonates with you, but that's why I had to step back and look at the bigger picture too. I had to kind of do the same thing and go, wait a minute, if I look at how far I've come, and they have told me a lot of times that the reason why it's taking so long is because it's setting it up to be stable long-term, right? It's kind of like the Knight of Pentacles. It takes forever, but that's because it's setting it up to be stable long-term. And this planning card here tells me that. Now is the time to lay down the foundations for your future. Financial gains are more than likely. Maybe you've already been doing that, but now is the time. And they're just telling you that's what you're doing right now, is you are laying down the foundation, the blocks, the bricks. You're not throwing up a really quick house of straw. You are building a brick house, mortar by mortar, brick by brick. Did I just say mortar by mortar? That doesn't even make sense. Brick by brick. That's what happens when I'm just like talking and bleh. Don't even think about what I'm talking about. So you're gonna have success. I feel, well, I'm trying to reframe what I say. If you keep doing this, you're going to have success. You are moving toward success in divine timing, but the time is now to work on it. So they're motivating you. They want to keep you moving in that direction. So this has been a really cool reading so far. I've kind of ranted and raved on this one, but because I want you to know that I get it and that I've been there, and you know, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I do see, if I take a step back and look at the bigger picture, I do see the hard work I've put into it, of course, but I also see the progress that I've made. It's not quite where I wanted to be. And maybe if I had done it all over again, maybe I would have gotten lucky. There was one girl who put out tarot videos on TikTok, and it seemed to be her first fucking video, doing nothing different than what I did. And hers went viral, and she got like 300,000 followers or whatever on there. Not that that's all I care about, but that is what's going to, like, if you're doing social media, that is what's going to help you. So, you know, it kind of like, I look at her and this other person, I'm like, what the hell? I felt like I was blocked, but I probably was, because I had a money block that I had to work through. So maybe you're somebody who feels like you're blocked and you've been dealing with drama and emotions, but it's all part of my plan to go through that so I could heal that block, right? Same thing with you. And maybe for that person, it's not going to be stable long-term. Maybe that's not her destiny. They've been telling me this is my destiny, so it needs to be stable long-term. You know, I'll probably, hopefully, keep doing this and then just retire into it and just keep doing it in my retirement or whatever, you know, hopefully, if people want to hear me at that age. I don't know. Sometimes people seem to care. If you have a lot of wisdom to impart, and by that age, if I'm older, then maybe I'll have even more wisdom. But anyway, so yeah, so I just wanted to say that because I feel like I identify with what they're saying here, and maybe you've been feeling like you're struggling. I clearly see struggles here. The end of a tough cycle approaches, progress. It's like you're spinning around and around and not getting anywhere, but you are. And maybe it's slow and steady progress, but it's about, you know, I think it's about to hit here. I don't know how, you know, I don't know timing. We're about to go into that in the extended. You know, what's going to happen with regard to this situation in the next 6 months to a year or sooner is what we're about to do. Before I get into that, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified when I put out videos so you don't miss any of this motivation from spirit, any of this great information that's trying to help you toward your success. If you want a personal reading from me, you can get it on my website, www.bossasswitch1111.com. That's 4 ones. And that's good for, like, if you don't know if this is for you or not, or if you have any other questions. Like, I do all kinds of different readings, so go check out my website to see the different kinds that I do. My readings start at $20 and go up from there. I make a video just like this one. I upload it to YouTube as private, and then I'd send it to you via whatever email address that you give me within a day or two. So that's how it works. I also do readings on TikTok live. So if that's what you prefer more, you can do that as well. Make sure you're following me on TikTok, but I usually do those like every late afternoon, early evening into the evening, kind of off and on because I take breaks. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to get into what's going to happen with this situation in the next 6 months to a year or sooner. If you could, press the like button and share this video. And definitely, like I said, please comment down below on whether this resonates with you. Is this for you? Have you already started working on this? You know, I mean, if you want to share. Don't give too many details because you don't want anybody to, you know, steal your ideas. But, you know, what kind of, is this a spiritual thing, or what, you know, what's art, or what do you know, what exactly do you have going for you? What are you working on? Have you been trying to actively manifest it? Let me know. If you feel in your gut that when I said this, that I was talking directly to you, because that's when you know that is a sign for you. If it leaves you feeling confused, maybe it's not for you. Get a personal reading. But I'm going to go now into the bonus extended reading where we get a lot more details. Like I said, we look into what's going to happen in the next 6 months to a year or sooner, so that I know if this end of this tough cycle and this success, will it actually happen in the next 6 months to a year or sooner, or is it going to be outside of that? Because this could be a while. This could be 5, 10, 20 years from now, for all I know. Probably not, but so the extendeds, you just go down below to the link below, click that link that says to get to the bonus extended. It'll take you to my Patreon. If you sign up as a Patreon, it's only $5.55, and that's not just for this one reading. That actually gets you exclusive access to all the readings that I've done up until this point and all the readings that I do going forward. So, a lot of extra content, a lot of extra exclusive content that only people that are part of my Patreon that support this channel can get. You get that because you support the channel. It's what's going to help me keep doing these readings for you and supporting this channel. So thank you so much to those of you. You can cancel at any time, so you don't have to do it month to month, but I truly appreciate those of you that stay and will continue to stay. Plus, you keep continuing to get the exclusive access to all the extendeds that I do now and going forward for whatever time period that you pay for. So go check it out. They get really fun. Spirit shows off. Let me tell you, they like to do that thing where I say something and then they flip out the card right after, like crazy times. It's that proof of life after death. It's that proof that there's something else out there, because it gets so synchronistic. I freaking love that. And hopefully you do too. Hopefully you love seeing it as much as I do. I think when you're the reader and it pops out, it's a little more exciting than the person watching the video. But I think I can still appreciate when that happens to other readers as well. I've seen it happen before, where it's like you say something and the second you say it, I love it when that happens. Because like I said, it gives me that hope that this is not random, that this is very much guided information. So yeah, go check out that extended right now, and I will see you there.